Philosophy 212, Ethics in Business and Society. Liberty and the Common Good, two ethical views. In this lecture, we will look at two contrasting views on what is the ethically right thing to do. The views and their associated principles allow us to ethically evaluate law and public policy. We have looked at the legal perspective in this course, which says that one should obey the law. But how can we judge whether or not the laws themselves are ethically good? The way to do that is through ethical principles. We will look at two ethical views and their corresponding principles and values. These views are the most common secular ethical views used today to ethically evaluate law and public policy. We will use these throughout the remainder of the course. The utilitarian view is the view that one should always promote the common good. The common good is also referred to as the general welfare or social utility, which is where the name comes from. Always promote the common good. So, a law or policy is just only if it promotes the common good. The value here is the common good or general welfare or happiness of all affected by the law or policy. The idea is expressed in many ways. So, we can judge whether a law is an ethically good one by asking the question whether it promotes the value of the public's happiness or well-being. In contrast to the utilitarian view is the libertarian view. The guiding principle can be expressed in more than one way. One way is that one should respect individual liberty. However, the view is also expressed in terms of property and property rights. The guiding principle may be expressed as follows. A person may do with their property whatever they wish, as long as they do not infringe on another's right to do with their property whatever they wish. Note, this is not a view of anything goes, and in fact is very strict in that it is determined to protect property rights. It follows from this that a law or policy is just only if it respects property rights. Another way the libertarian view is expressed, as we said, is that laws should promote and protect individual liberty or freedom. This is why it is called libertarian. Liberties are another name for freedoms. And to the libertarian, this lines up with property rights. The first thing you own is your own body. You have the right to do with it what you wish, as long as you do not violate others' right to do with their body what they wish. In this course so far, we have looked at various perspectives, principles, and their associated values. We've looked at principles of self-interest, business, law, and ethics. And under ethics, we have looked at the Golden Rule, some of the Ten Commandments, the idea that one should show respect, etc. To this, we add the utilitarian and libertarian views. These views often agree with one another. For example, the utilitarian and libertarian both agree that laws against theft are ethically just, but for different reasons. The utilitarian thinks they are just because they promote the common good. The libertarian thinks they are just because they protect property rights. But utilitarian and libertarian views might also come into conflict on certain laws. As we make our way through this unit of the course and the next, we will see various areas where there might be conflict. For example, consider laws that require employers to pay workers a minimum wage. Many argue, from a utilitarian view, that raising the minimum wage benefits workers, since they have more money, and also benefits the overall economy, since minimum wage workers have more money to spend. Libertarians, on the other hand, argue that employers should have the freedom to set wages at whatever level they want, and that workers should be free to take or leave those wages. On this issue, the libertarian and utilitarian disagree. However, a further complication is that someone might offer utilitarian arguments against raising the minimum wage. A solid utilitarian argument requires a lot of exploration into the benefits and costs of a particular policy before making a decision. We close by noting that the values promoted by libertarians and utilitarians find their place in the preamble to the United States Constitution. This passage expresses the reasons why we have the laws we have in the first place. Two of the most important reasons are that such laws should promote the general welfare and that they should secure the blessings of liberty,